Bienvenidos al podcast de Los Pimentos Fantasma. I'm Robbie. I have some guests here that I'd like to introduce. Some very close friends. My spooky bro. My familia. Due to copyright purposes, I can no longer say it. But this is my friend Martin.
What up, what up?
And his wife Nancy.
Hi.
So to start us off, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Pues I'm Martin, a.k.a. El Tito, de los Texas made from Eagle Pass. Ahí sí saben. I'm from the border from Eagle Pass.
Oh, me? I'm the wife. Pretty much, that's it. Same. From Eagle Pass. I don't have a nickname.
My greatest accessory.
Yeah.
So we're going to change up the podcast a little bit, and we're just going to get straight into the spooky stuff because Martin has a lot of good stories. So let's, y'all get ready. Get y'all's abuelitas ready.
The popcorn.
Eat your conchas. Get your tortilla blankets ready. And let's listen to some spooky stories.
I'm going to start with La Casa del Dentista because we actually would go there just to go break windows and stuff like that. We didn't even know. Pero, oh yeah, I'm Spangler, so I apologize. Yeah, like we didn't even know about it. Like, nomás íbamos just go break windows. After that, like when we were older, just to go get high and stuff there. Make out with random chicks from Piedras Negras because that's where it's at. And later on, I got scared because it actually told me like what the house was all about and stuff. And La Casa del Dentista es que it was an dentist.
What was that house though?
It was more like hacienda or something. Like it had a swimming pool in the middle. You know, más así había like cuartos around it and stuff.
But the one that you're talking about is the one that's like by the river? Like I see like where I used to live, like in the back.
No.
Is that the other one?
That's it. No, well, no, that's another one. No, this one's in Piedras Negras.
Oh, that's in Piedras. Oh.
Y el dentista, like, was apparently he would help out the poor people and this and that, like try to get close to people, that shit like that. Y ¿cómo se llama? Later on, he started like taking it in kids, like poor kids, and like an orphanage thing. And no, pues everybody was grateful for it and stuff, pero what they didn't really know, like sometimes like some kids will go missing and stuff like that, and y el pedo es que the dude was actually experimenting on kids. He was going crazy. Like he first started with animals, that's what I heard, and then later on, like he started like I guess experimenting on kids, and I was like, oh shit, like and we kind of like would hear shit when we were there, but we were just focused on getting high and
Pay no mind.
yeah, and then like kind of getting laid. Pero yeah, like, and then after that, I was like, oh shit.
Y'all got laid there?
No, I was just making out. Random little hand job, man. Pero yeah, like, oh shit. Like, after that, I was like, oh fuck. Like, once we heard that, like, damn, like, we didn't really knew about it, but we would hear shit like, es el monte. Like, es que it's monte, like, es como un rancho, it's a big ass fence. Like, to cross it before it was open, so a lot of people just go in there and get high and stuff like that. And after that, like, the story started getting big, and that's when, like, a lot of people would just go and film and, like, look for ghosts and shit. Pero lo que se oías, you would hear, like, horses. Like, se oían, like, in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it's weird porque no hay ranchillos ni nada like that. I don't know now, pero back then, it was just, era un camino largo de tierra. You would get to it, and it was a fence. Now it's closed, so I don't know if it's still there or not, pero llegabas y estaba la fence abierta. Si estaba abierta, pues te metías. Later on, they started closing it because everybody was doing random shit in there. Pero si oías like horses in the background, like oh fuck, and then you would hear them like run by, y no había nada, like oh what the fuck. Pero pues también it was dark as hell, so like you couldn't really tell. Pero yeah, that was my thing with the Casa del Dentista. My story.
One of the ones at your house?
Those are bad. Bueno.
Let us know, bro.
Gives me goosebumps, but when I was a kid, like, I would notice some stuff in my house, like, pero pues I thought it was just, tengo miedo or some shit, like, I was small. ¿Entiendes? Pero that shit was, I felt like something was fucking with me, like, ¿Me entiendes? Like, de repente I would see something walk by. Like, nah, like, because I was watching a scary movie, maybe because of that. And it was bad porque en la noche, like, I would be asleep and I would hear something fall, or I would hear something move, or I was like, nah, I would always be like, nah, it's something else, like, something else, right? And because I didn't really believe in none of that stuff. I thought it was just movies. I was like, nah, like, nah, nada que ver. And no, pues de repente, when I'm gonna move to the future, past that, my mom actually told me what happened. It was a house that was bought for two families, my mom's family and my uncle's family. And she actually told me that they were doing brujeria against each other to try to keep the house.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, really? Now I know what something was fucking with me. Pero she told me that, and she was like, yeah, like, we were doing brujeria to your tia, and your tia was doing brujeria to us. And I remember my tia came running one time, and my prima had found like un limon amarrado with some other shit in the closet. And then my mom actually confessed and told me, she was like, yeah, your dad did that. Yeah. And then yeah, they had a fight over it and shit. I was like, damn. Pero pues greed or something. I don't know. Luckily, I sold that shit and I got rid of all that bad juju. Pero yeah, like,
There was a lot of bad juju.
really bad
Like
juju.
when I was living there with him, the house wasn't there, but it was like you had the trailer on this side, and then like where the house was, you can feel some energy, like some negative energy. It was bad.
Yeah, like, the crazy thing about it was like when I was small, I thought it was just me that was scared of some random shit. But yeah, like, all my relatives had seen somebody walk by, and the crazy thing, my grandma passed away. Like, it was in her late 70s, and I still remember that day. Like, everybody was there, and because they were just waiting for her to pass away. Y estaba en la cama and stuff, and de repente, like, everybody started crying. It was like 5 or 6. Everybody started crying, and pues ya falleció tu grandma. And pues I didn't ¿me entiendes? No sabía que estaba really happening and stuff, and she was trying to keep the whole family together. But once she passed away, like, it felt like the family se separaron. Everybody was against each other and out of envy and stuff. And that actually, when she passed away, or like a couple years after that, that's when I started feeling it more and more. Because my uncle passed away too, so, and then that's when the whole thing started. Like, I would start hearing stuff and seeing stuff that, like, I was like, was that really there, or did it just pass by? And Dennis, and the crazy thing, when I was like 12 or 13, like, hitting puberty, that's when it really started more and shit. Like, I remember I was in my room and Taco style. It was like 1 or 2, and I couldn't really sleep, so I had the TV on. Y luego de repente, yeah, I started like falling asleep, so I turned the TV off. And back then we had those los abanicos de agua. You would have to put the hose on it para que se enfriara todo el pedo ahí. Yeah, old school. And no, pues, it was getting kind of hot and shit, so me tapé, and I don't know what the fuck. I usually had aluminum foil in the windows to keep the fucking sun out. Yeah, no los tenía porque they were old and shit, so I need to put something new. Volteé para la ventana, and I saw, not glowing red, but I saw some red eyes in the window. I was like, oh shit, apá, man, like, what the fuck, like, I was freaking out, and they woke up, and my dad walked in, and he was like, ¿qué pasó? Yo, no sé, it looked like a bird, unos ojos rojos afuera, chinga madre, otra vez, quién sabe qué. And that's what fucked with my head, because he was like, chinga, like, he knew something was there. He walked outside all pissed off and calling thing names and shit, and I don't know, like, I was just there scared, and I didn't sleep the whole fucking night.
Like a lechuza?
Like
or
a
what?
lechuza, bro, or something. Something was fucking with us, like, y luego de repente at night, the crazy stories era cuando se iba la luz, and you can hear, like, the whole neighborhood, people outside talking shit, que no estaba la luz, nada de eso. Pero, like, being in bed, y luego de repente, boom, like, something would fall. And my dad would be like, chinga madre, los duendes, chinga
Oh
madre,
yeah.
la pinche lechuza ya no traes. Like, the fuck, like shit like that was the shit that was getting in my head too. That so it really is something that something's going on around here. But I was a kid, like no me decía nada back then and shit. So I was like, what the fuck?
Like I was telling my thing, like if your family was doing that, sometimes like the energy, the negative energy, or if there's an entity, it will like latch on to like the most innocent,
Yeah,
like,
the
whoever they love.
vulnerable.
The most vulnerable one, and like your parents said, they loved you. There was a lot of envy towards him. There was a lot of jealousy because he's like the only kid, and his cousins like loved his mom. They wanted like his mom to be their mom because
Yeah.
she kind of like raised them. So I think whatever it was, like it latched onto you, and it was like
So yeah, so something's energy or something was fucking with me. ¿Me entiendes? Pero that kept going on for years and stuff. And I remember when I was older, my dad passed. We moved from Eagle Pass, and I was actually happy where we moved. Like I didn't really feel it too much, but I felt like something was always with me. And I didn't know if it was good or bad, pero ya lo sentía like an energy and shit. Like, and then I was like, fuck, like I couldn't shake it off. And when I was getting fucked up and stuff, like se me quitaba, like. Pero once I was coming down from my high, like lo volví a sentir otra vez. Like something was there. Something was there. It was always with me, and I didn't know if it was good or bad. Like, I would feel weird and shit. When my dad passed away, we went back. I would walk by the house. We actually bought a trailer. My dad passed away, nos dieron una feria, and we had some money saved up. And I told my mom, I was like, you know what, let's just. Because she was like, let's fix up the house. I was like, nah, like, I don't want to fix that house up. Like, fuck that. Like, ya, nah, me jefa, like, se está cayendo y ya sabe cómo está esta casa. Y, pues, entonces, ¿qué quieres hacer? O sea, pues, compramos una trailer o qué. Pues, she was like, pues, está bueno, just buy a trailer. The crazy thing about that is que you will walk by that house y, like, sentías donde, like, alguien te estaba viendo from the inside. Like, oh, fuck.
You feel it watching you?
Watching me, bro. Y luego pues estaba la house on one side and the trailer was like right next to it and stuff. And I was like, fuck, man. Like,
I think there was something buried.
Yeah, or something. Like,
I think my father did. I think my mom did say there was something buried.
Yeah, and it was crazy, like, crazy shit. Pero, yeah, after a while, I was like, fuck it, man. Like, my demons, like, I have this fucking demon next to me all the time. And, like, I try to be cool with it and shit. And, de repente, like, I couldn't, like, de repente it would get so strong, like, my mom would go in there and she was Christian, y ella rezaba por me and stuff, and a lot of other shit that I was doing too, like, it was fucked up, but, yeah, like, it was, for a long time, something was fucking with me for a long time. I couldn't explain what it was, and so my mom told me what the fuck they were doing and stuff, and it's really common on the border, todo eso de brujería and stuff. I just saw it like, man, like it's like their thing, like another little hobby they do, right? Like brujería and ir a ver al niño and all that shit. And like I don't know, like I just felt like it was something else that, when the border is so common, it's que fueron y agarraron tierra del panteón y se lo echaron en la casa. Y now los andan bien abajo, los querían ver abajo and shit. Like, it was really, really common.
Yeah, puro envy.
Puro envy, puro envy. My dad was so sick, man. Like, that's another story too. He would go to doctors and this and that, y pues no, o sea, you just nomás tiene la azúcar.
They wouldn't know what it was, right?
They didn't know what it was, bro, pero like, the crazy thing was that he would go to like to the brujos and brujas, and, like the most badass ones. No, que vea un rancho, allá está una bien buena. Y que,
They do like what, culendera or what?
ajá, curateros. Yeah, and
There's like,
he would go, bro, like, no, pues tráeme tanta esta cosa y te hago el thing, o sea, el arreglo or some shit. Está bueno. And he would always go, bro, y siempre le dice, no, hombre. Es el que te tiene embrujado, te tiene bien embrujado. Like, whatever you got on you, we can't take it off. Like, y el pedo, si te llegas a morir, it's gonna jump from you to the person you really love the most.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, like, my mom loves my mom more. What the fuck? Pero sí, like, what the fuck? It was scary, bro. Like living with my dad, like I loved him. We had our issues and shit, but on that noche, way, just to be hearing him like calling for God to kill him. Yeah, he was desperate. He was like, fucking, like el diablo. Like ven por mí, mátame a la verga. Like ya estuvo. Like I'm done being tortured. Like he felt like his legs were being like just squished, bro. Like le están quebrando like los legs and shit. Like damn, like fucked up shit. Like that was some scary shit too. Like
But essentially, that's what demons do to you. They feed off of you because they can't be a person themselves.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were sent directly.
That's why, like, when they do like exorcisms and stuff like that, when the demon possesses you, that's why their teeth falls out because they can't possess anything that doesn't belong to the body. So like their teeth will fall out. If you have piercings on, all of that falls out and rots.
Shit.
Your fingernails come off because they can't possess anything that's not the person.
Fuck that shit. And yeah, bro, a lot of brujeria going on, and I remember one time we're outside, we're all just smoking and drinking and shit, and it was funny because it was just me and my cousin. 'Cause he was like my nephew. Shout out to Andy and Nuno. We were just smoking and drinking and shit. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning. A couple days before that, I had a badass truck back then. Some kids had passed by there throwing eggs and shit. So we were just waiting to see if they would pass again and fuck them up. Y de repente, like, I was telling that story to my cousin from Dallas, and it was like, nah, I was just telling him, no, pasó eso. Nah, fuck that. We ain't scared of them. Like, we ain't scared of anything. You know, de repente, bro, like, some, out of nowhere, we're like a hot fucking day in Texas, like, na noche, like, ¿me entiendes? Se vino un pinche wind, bro, like, it knocked down shit, y la madre, and then we turned around, y luego nomás así derechito, un gatillo negro, güey, like, what the fuck? We all just looked at each other all high and shit, like, no mames, güey, did you feel that shit? Like, hasta se nos bajó el vuelo and shit, like, oh, what the fuck? Le tiramos una rock al pinche pobre gatillo and shit. We went back inside, but yeah, when like, shit, little random shit like that, like, ¿me entiendes? And obviously, we weren't the only family que les, like, estaban haciendo brujería. Everybody else, like, puro mexicano allá where I grew up and shit. So. Y luego el border también. ¿Me entiendes? Con todas las lechuzas de repente, ahorita es que quién sabe quién le aparecieron una lechuza. That was like so common, like, la lechuza back then. Like,
Yeah.
all the speeches, I was getting shot by BBs all over the place over there. Pero, yeah, like, la lechuzas. That was like the main thing. And funny, que ese primo de Dallas, like, that's another fucking story too. And that's like my brother, cousin, his dad. He's the one that I've had issues with and shit. But back then, I would go to his house all the time when he had a badass house. And I never really felt anything until he started to get more money and more money. And I was like, oh, I'm like, I was never jealous, and I was actually happy, like, con madre, I get to go hang out with my brother and shit. ¿Me entiendes? Pero de repente, like, you would see stuff pop by. Ah, chinga. Like, I knew it wasn't just me that was high and shit. Like,
Yeah.
pero I remember this specific one time, like, we were smoking white rhino and mixed with
Oh yeah, that's the best.
blues, some other shit, like, white widow, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna get so fucked up tonight. And we're rolling blunts, we're puro pinche blunt, just getting high and la chingada. Like, he had like a little cabin in the bottom of his like house. And también it was like 4 or 5 in the morning, and I would always sleep in this big ass room que tenía arriba. He called it like the game room, theater room, or whatever. It's just a big ass room with a projector. Yo siempre abría la ventana, güey, para que me entrara un poquito aire. Even though it was a brand new house and shit, pero me entraba un poquito aire. Y me acosté, güey, just with a pillow. And right next to me había recliners. And now pues me acosté, I was all fucked up. Me acosté and behind the recliners, like, yo estaba acostado and the recliner was right next to me. And you will see like a little kid just pop out and then, fuck, like, I'm grifo, la verga, like, what the fuck? No, pues I was trying to relax que se me bajara el pinche vuelo. Like, yeah, güey, like, would pop out, y la otra, chinga madre, and like, I was getting pissed off, güey, pinche güey, like, I'm gonna fuck up that little kid right now. Y luego de repente, like, otra vez, chinga madre, so I got up from donde estaba acostado, y prendí el foco, and, pues me fijé behind the couch, y nah, güey, like, it still gives me goosebumps. Nah, I was like, what the fuck, like, I'm never gonna smoke that shit again.
Yeah.
Way right up there. I was like, what the fuck? Fucking tripping, gotcha. Like, nah, I'm not gonna say shit.
You were tapped to the spirit.
Aha, like,
Yeah.
I'm not cruzando somewhere. Like,
Well, it's because white rhino and stuff like that. It's mixed with hallucinogens.
oh, shit.
Yeah. They,
I'm not cruzando through another room.
normally
Are
they
you like kissing, or like are you actually?
normally they put like little like flakes of like magic mushrooms in there,
Oh, shit.
and then it flakes onto the bud itself, and then that's how it becomes.
Oh,
that.
damn, bro. And I didn't even know. I was like,
I don't
white
even know what you
rhino?
were consuming.
Yeah. I was like, oh, shit. Bueno, por ni pedo. And I was, me senté en el sillón in the recliner. I turned the projector on and shit. I was like, damn, I'm so fucked up.
Nothing
Pero,
was on, and he was watching something.
I felt something where, like, when I me senté así, like, right here. I see when, like, right next to me. I was like, what the fuck?
That was just staring at you.
Ajá, and like, cuando me levanté del piso, pinche huerquillo que anda. And I still felt like it was a little kid, when, like, I would turn on, what the fuck? And I was like, nah, la verga, like, I'm gonna go drink something, apple juice, if te acuerdas, remember? Apple juice, que si tomas apple juice, se te baja and shit.
Yeah.
I went down there and drank whatever the fuck they had. I wasn't saying anything. I was like, nah, like, I'm not gonna be like the toughest cousin, and all he's tripping on weed and shit. So I was like, nah, fuck that.
Oh, man's ego.
Yeah, my ego. Y no, pues ni pedo, ni say shit. Órale. Now, pues I took that story with me when I left. The crazy thing was about a month later, and another little cousin of mine went up there. And, ¿cómo se llama? The same shit happened to him, pero he was actually washing dishes, and you can see, like, lo arriba de los stairs. He was washing the dishes, y luego de repente mira que corre una niña. Chinga. I was like, nah, pues son los sobrinillos del primo or whatever. Oh, pues he continued doing what the fuck he was doing. The kitchen was right behind him too. Y luego de repente otra vez cruzaba para el otro lado. Like she was playing with him, whatever. Fucking with him. What the fuck? So se subió. He said, I went and looked in all the rooms. Nobody was there. Like, my cousin's kids were at school and shit. Like, nomás estaba his wife, but she was down there. And, downstairs. And,
None of them were little, just so they know.
they're about his age. But
There was like no little kid.
And there was nobody there. When, like, what the fuck? Like, and he hadn't smoked. He hadn't done shit. So he was like, nah, I'm not gonna say anything. Whatever. Y luego de repente, I went up there and he told me that shit, and I told him that, and I was like, what the fuck, güey, so qué onda, güey, like, están haciendo brujería estos o qué pedo. And then I told my cousin's wife, I was like, yeah, Maru, pues, this happened. And she was like, man, oh, what the fuck, where the fuck are we going, okay? Entramos a su cuarto, and they had like a big ass, like a dresser.
Mm-hmm.
Pero con madre, güey, el dresser. And then she opened it. Y estaba like the Santa Muerte.
That makes sense.
They had food. They had a bunch of stuff in there. And money and shit. And I was like, it was a badass painting and shit. I was like, oh, está con madre, pero. She was like, no, it's todo lo que estás viendo and stuff. And he says, es la flaquita or some shit she called her. I don't know. And nos anda cuidando. I was like, what the fuck? And I didn't know that she was actually trying to do brujeria there too and stuff. And porque my cousin that was an Eagle Pass, he was a middle child. And he wasn't eating, like, andaba bien malo and this and that. And she actually called un shaman or some shit, and he wasn't there anymore. So él le dijo, no, just buy this, buy that, kill something or whatever. But ya le esto a tu hijo a que, o sea, lo limpies. Okay, pues they did that to him. Y dice que pues se vomitó mi cousin and everything while she was doing the whole fucking thing. Pero after that shit, I don't know if she released something into her house or what the fuck. Pero everybody was viendo something. Like even his kids weren't comfortable in that house anymore. Que porque cuando iba mi mamá para allá, they would always pray with her at night and stuff because they didn't even feel comfortable going to sleep in their own room and shit. Like I don't know what the fuck they were doing in that house. And I would always try to, cuando mi mamá iba también para allá, like, siempre me trataba de ir a acostar con ella where the fuck she was, like, even in the corner of a room, porque I felt comfortable with her. Everybody was doing that way. All the kids, like, si se ibas a acostar in the big room, everybody was there. And you will feel this peace way with her there, like, oh, I can go to sleep now, like. And I would always ask her, no sientes tú nada más? No. Later on, she would tell me like she would go stay up there months, and she was like, oh yeah, I started, ya empecé a sentir lo que tú dices, like, algo malo está en esa casa. Something there doesn't want them there anymore. Something like, I feel like at the end, the whatever you sacaste or something, it wins at the end. Como nosotros in the house, nos sacó a todos, bro. Like whatever they were doing to each other, I guess it did work. Porque sacó a ellos y nos sacó a nosotros. And ¿me entiendes? So I don't know what the fuck they were doing, pero yeah, like I would see him. I was fucking with them too, porque hasta mi cousin, the younger cousin was going to church now, and because se sentían bien malo, and también they couldn't explain what was going on, pero pues their parents were doing something deeper, like brujería and stuff, because they wanted to keep that wealth, that power, or whatever he had and shit. So I was like, damn, man, I never felt comfortable again going to that house. Like, yeah, me and Nancy would go there and just stay like a day, but yeah, I didn't feel comfortable like staying there because I would stay there for months and months. But yeah, you felt weird and being in that house. And since yes, algo, something being in there.
Yeah, coming from them and from your house.
Yeah, from them too.
Because then eventually, I guess it goes to them too.
Pero see, like that was my crazy story, and I've had a couple other ones, random ones here and there, pero my main thing was there in that property, that house. Crazy thing, when my mom passed away, like I felt like my rest of my family passed away too, cause I didn't really talk to them anymore, and shit, and la envidia and all that stuff, and me entiendes, pero yeah, then when I moved up here, like yeah, like everything changed and stuff. Like yeah, I don't keep in contact with them. But a little bit before that, me and Nancy got married, and this lady that we knew from back then, my mom's friend, and she walked in and she saw that picture. When me and Nancy took a picture when we got married, and she told my mom, she was like, "No, los tienen, dijo, tienen un mal, dijo, no los quieren ver juntos." And then it was somebody close to the family. Just by looking at that picture with me and Nancy. Yeah, I was like, fuck, man. And sometimes me and Nancy would just laugh about it, and like, whatever, like, they can't do shit for us, pero. Yeah, man, like, we even have much and shit, and no, nos tienen odio and stuff.
Like I've always said, like, we don't have many material stuff. We're always struggling economically. But I mean, there's a reason we've been married like 10+ years. Like we've gone through like some hardship, but like we're still together. Like I care about him, he cares about me, and I've noticed that a lot of people do. Every like since we started dating, like I had somebody like he was like, oh, I want to be in love. I'm like, how do they know in love? Like how do they say like? There's something that is showing off from our relationship that I notice that people kind of do envy. But I mean, if you want to, just find it yourself. You don't have to envy it like from anybody else. You know what I mean? And I think that's like a lot, like one of the main things. I know that one of the biggest haters that we have is my ex, and I was told that he did do something, and he called me once a long time ago to confirm it, and he was gonna do something because like he asked me like why didn't I have another kid, and then my mom went to somebody and they told her that he did do something for me not to have kids anymore. But there it is. Wow, there it is. 10 years later, 11, I don't know how many. So they didn't win in the end.
Yeah.
You tell him, Pucho.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my stories.
What, me?
I wanna go into so I lived in a small town. I'm not gonna say what it is because a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people know, but a lot of my family members actually listen to my show.
Okay.
There, it's a small town in Texas, and a lot of brujeria, curanderas, shamans, what have you, are there. There's a house there, kind of out in like in the monte, like towards like the cemetery area. They called it the Hugo house. Hugo.
Like Hugo?
Well, it was like Hugo.
Hugo.
Hugo, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they called it the juice house or whatever.
Oh, Hugo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Shit.
Okay.
It was just a really creepy house, and you would drive past there because towards that area was the town's like DJ. He was always playing like at the Lion Club or whatever that they had there, and like the Hano bands would show up, and he would be DJing there for them and stuff. He lived in that area, but behind his area was that house, and that house was creepy, bro. Like you could just
energy, right?
You just
like,
pass by it inside of your car, and you could feel that just following you until like you get past that area.
Yeah, the energy, way, like lo sientes and stuff, like.
And apparently, like that's a house where they would do like a bunch of like brujeria and stuff like that, and there's something that happened towards me. I'm not gonna say who did it, why it happened.
Oh, you knew it?
But I known about it for a while. And my main thing is I think it was like something to like make me not like fall in love or like have a good relationship with anybody. Just like basically like something that they didn't want to see me happy with.
Yeah.
And there's many times where I've been in so many relationships, bro, and none of them I really felt like I actually love that person.
Yeah.
And there's this recent one that I'm in, like I felt it for a while. But it just goes away, you know what I mean? It doesn't just stick with me. But we also lived in this trailer. My dad had a few acres, but he had this trailer, bro. And we were living there, where I would go every weekend or whatever. But there was something, bro, like just watching me the whole time.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, it was an hombre, just a dark shadow man.
Shadow.
And he was always like in the restroom or like in the hallway and stuff. And there was times where like it would be real quiet in the house, and just out of nowhere you just see him pass by, but into the wall, because it was one of those hallways, and the restrooms on like the left hand side.
Yeah.
And then all of the rooms were on the left hand side, and then there was one room at the end.
Yeah.
So he would come from the restroom and just pass into the hallway.
Oh shit!
Or
just to remind you he was there.
Yeah, or me and my siblings' room was the back room, and there would be a little kid just in the corner, just standing there, like just watching me sleep, bro. And like I could never really get any rest there or anything. So past all of that, I'm like maybe like I was a teenager. I don't remember what age I was, but I was a teenager. And my tios and tias, they would come down from out of town, and they had two older sons. And one of them's name was Junior. And I don't remember what it was. My dad made us go somewhere, like, but it was raining. Oh, to put like storage, because my dad made another house next to that one. So that trailer was just for storage or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he made us put stuff in the house. So we put stuff in the house, and it was raining, storming. And we get into the house, and I tell him about it, and he was like, "Nah, you're a pussy. Stop being like that. Don't be a girl, whatever."
Yeah.
So then we go into the back room. That's where all the storage stuff was at. And once we pass the restroom, the door slams into his face.
Oh,
and I was like, "I fucking told you." And he was like, "Nah, it's just the wind. It's the wind." I was like, "There's no window in the damn restroom. How's the wind going to go through the front door and slam the door on the other side?"
Te echaste un pedo. Yeah.
And so then it slammed the door. So then he was like, nah, whatever. He opens the door. Right when he opens the door, so it's the toilet, the shower, and the mirror. Right inside of the mirror, there's a man standing there.
Oh, shit.
And we look behind us, no one's there. And we look back in the mirror, nothing's there anymore.
Ooh.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I don't know what to see.
See, that's crazy, güey. Cuando somebody else, like me, I didn't want to say shit, pero cuando my cousin said something, he saw it too. I was like, okay, now I can say my shit too. I was like, yeah, güey, a mí también me pasó esto and stuff. Like, now it's two people que vieron eso and shit. Like, pero yeah, man.
I guess you just don't want to seem like you're crazy or like.
Or like, como if like, pinche culo and shit, like, tienes miedo and stuff. Like, yeah, like.
Pinche culo, pinche loco, you know.
Yeah.
Exactamente. Like, my dad would always be like, nah, puro pedo. No vistes nada. Like, even though he would tell me, nah, salí a las 2 de la mañana y está un perro negro parado enfrente,
Right.
no de mí. And like, what the fuck, dad? And like, un perro bien grande, y luego volteé y ya no estaba. Like, that was like 7 in the morning. Oh shit, now I have that in my head. All fucking, like, what the fuck? Like, go on there. Pero yeah, like, stuff like that. And the crazy thing, it's mostly your family. Like, le dices algo and sometimes they have even seen something, pero like, no quieren decirte nada, like, get you more scared or something, pero yeah, like, I don't know, like, I mean, I forgot to say this, pero when we were living at that other place, when we moved from Eagle Pass, we would come back and just clean. It had like half an acre. All the properties back then, estaban bien grandes. They were always big. So we'll come back, now we gotta go cut the grass, this and that, whatever. So we came back, and me dijo mi papá, metiste por la ventana and open the door. Because it was those long-ass houses, like, la cocina ya mero atrás, I went, like, fuck. So ya me metí, bro, and from the cocina, you could see all the way to the front door, and we had a big-ass chair, like, blocking the door. It was locked, pero, like, también aún así, para que no se van a meter. And we had that chair there. Y donde estaba entrando, bro, I saw my grandma sitting in that chair.
Oh.
I was like, oh, fuck. And I was like, nomás así, güey. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, shit, me salí por la ventana otra vez. I didn't even open the fucking door. Me salió otra vez. ¿Qué traes, güey? ¿Qué pasó? No, miré a grandma. Puro pinche pedo, todo pinche miedoso y que la chinga. No. Se tuvo que meter ahí la puerta. Chinga madre, puro pedo de este cabrón. Anda bien drogado otra vez, no traje nada, like, we got peasant chick point and shit. Pero see, I didn't, ese es el pedo, like, I didn't know if it was something bad or good, like, and I didn't even want to go check it out, see if it was something bad or good, tampoco, like, fuck that, like, I would always say that, I don't believe in ghosts, but I've seen one. Like, ¿me entiendes? Like, I didn't believe in none of that. I didn't want to believe in none of that shit. ¿Me entiendes? Like, como te digo, like, I just felt like it was something that they did. It was their thing. Like, I didn't want to make it my thing, too. Like I felt like it was, like, a little, their hobby or, like, a little religion.
Their hobby. Their hobby.
like, I didn't really want to get into it. Like, man, like, I got my own thing going, like, porque cuando íbamos, que el niño, y que lo bajaban, y que...
You went to it?
My dad would go to that shit in Pierre. Y, no, quédate en la troca, porque tú estás chiquillo, y se puede bajar y se te puede meter a ti. Like, what the fuck? Pues, órale, pues, yo más con madre, like, I had my toys and shit in the truck. Me quedaba ahí en la troca, y ellos se metían. Yeah, después de mucho salían todos de un little hut and shit. Like what the fuck? Like, ¿me entiendes? Por eso I was like, I thought it was just something normal that they would go do in Piedras. And like, oh fuck. And most of that stuff got taken off. When they were there, quitaron todo ese pedo. The main thing, if you were gonna like something, because back then era que el santo de quién sabe qué y el santo de otra cosa. No, their thing was la Santa Muerte. And I remember when we used to cross it, well, es que Piedras was the place to go, bro. Like, even still is. Like, if you were fucking 13, 14 and tenías feria, they would let you in. They knew you were going from the US over there. So te metían a los clubs and all that shit, and you were underage drinking and all that stuff. Like, man, that was the place to go in Piedras. Pero took all that shit off, and La Muerte was like the thing, pero quitaron todo ese pedo lo quitaron, los niños y todo ese.
I mean, it was still there.
It was still there, pero now no estaba tan fuerte like back then. Like,
pero también, like, we grew up y ya no estábamos metidos en nada de eso.
Yeah, también. I mean, my parents went Christian, and well, my mom did. Me up a little bit.
They found Jesus in a bush like my dad did.
Yeah. I did see him change my dad a bit when like he found religion. Pero todavía así, váyanse a la verga. Está la verga, cabrón. Está bueno, pa. Pero yeah, like, I did see him change a bit. And it was crazy. I'm getting off topic a little bit, but it was crazy because you had your issues with your dad. I've had my issues with mine. And the crazy thing, before he passed away, we started getting closer. And como te diré, he died. He passed away, and I hated God, bro. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, he went into your religion and this and that, and he passed away. And I was seeing it wrong. I was like, maybe he went into religion and he felt peace, and then that's when he was able to leave. Pero in that time, I was like, fuck that. Fuck you, God. Like, you took my dad. We actually got close together, and now me lo quitaste. Like, fuck. Like, I had that against it. I'm not saying I don't believe. I do believe in this, like, pero tampoco I'm all hardcore into it. Like, my mom did get into it. Yeah, I expressed hardcore into it. She was a Christian. It would always tell me to go, and I always felt judged going into those churches. And I was like, nah, I'm good. Like, yo le pido que la house. Once in a while, I would show up there. I would I never felt comfortable going there. No me sentía a gusto. Pero sí, and then crazy shit, like when we went back, ya tomamos, even cuando tomamos la house there, at the property, like, you still feel something. Pero now, no nomás lo sentías where the house was at. Like, you would go to a corner of the property, you felt something over there. And then it was like something was always watching you and shit. But as when I had the chance to sell the property, it was like, fuck that. Like, I have nothing attached. Nothing's here for me. Like, man, the only thing that was there for me was my mom, and she passed away. So I was like, fuck that, man. Just get rid of all this bad juju. Like, like care somebody else and shit.
Yeah.
You keep the bad juju. Pero sí, like, crazy shit. Like, you got anything? These scary stories.
I don't weird stuff that happened to me. There's no TV, but we're watching.
Risa and shit.
So one of the stuff. See, my family is different. I have one of my cousins. Yeah, I'm from Monterrey. Wow. So one of my cousins, I had always known that she says it like, contact the spirit world in one way. Sabe like arcanos and all of that stuff. She
Or
works
like a medium or what?
Kinda, not like ghost whisperer. But like she also works with like the angels, stuff like that. And she used to say that there was somebody else in the family that was gonna be able to do something too. And I was like, me. But I was like, nah, not me. Me, but not me. So, there was a lot of stuff that had happened to me that I couldn't really explain. For example, like, one of the times that one of my uncles before he passed away, I dreamt him. And then every time it happens in my family, and when somebody passes away, 3 months later, like a family member is gonna have a baby, and for some reason it resembles a person that passed away.
Yeah.
For example, my mom passed away 3 months later. I had setting and stuff like that. So I felt when I was asleep that time, I dreamt my mom having a baby, and I'm like, oh no, somebody passed away. And I woke up and I stood in my doorway. And as I was just standing there, like a couple seconds later, the phone rang. And then I heard my mom pick it up and she was crying. I go to her room and she told me your deal passed. I was like, okay. I cried with her a little bit and I knew and I fell asleep. So there's some stuff like that that I couldn't explain. Another thing was that later when I grew up, I talked to my cousin, me leyó las cartas, and then she was like, you know that it's you, right? And I'm like, I know. She's like, but I'm strong in a way. I always knew that I tend to, like, when people have like some negative energy, como que me lo pasaban a mí, like it would, like I would absorb it and kind of like filter it out.
Yeah.
So, and she's like, that's how you are, you're strong. And I'm like, I had a feeling. Because before that, my parents, like nothing said, my parents would go to the Niño de Tochita, where it's like this kind of sort of medium person, the spirit of one of those saints would go into them and they would heal. And I saw that like almost all my life. I saw somebody, like I remember I told them being like, it was in a cult. Because we were all in line, supposedly the danzantes, the dancers, like the matachines. And there was somebody laying on the floor, and that person was doing something, and then that person all of a sudden was like almost floating. And granted, I was little, so that's how it imagined me. Like, I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And
sorry.
so they would always say that in my grandma's house in Eagle Pass, there was this little boy. They would see a little boy, and they're like, "Es el niño Tochita." And I'm like, no, it's not. I never saw him. But I'm like, there's not something good's not here. Not bad, like, but I'm like, it's not. Good. It's not what you guys think. Mm-hmm. So one time I got home from school and I fell asleep. And I remember that dream so well. I was dreaming I was at my grandma's house. My family was there. And I saw this little boy. That little boy was like in black and white. But his eyes were just black. There was no eyes, it was just black. And I was like, ahí está el niño. And they're like, sí, míralo, bien bonito, bien hermoso. I'm like, no lo ven, like, he's not. He's not good. And then I remember that in my grandma's house, there was a volcano in the distance. I could see a volcano. And I was like trying to convince my family, like, look, this is not good, this is not good. And they're like, no, no, no. He's beautiful, he's a great, he just smiled evilly at me. So in my dream, I go to the backyard, and then they all started like encircling me and kind of like chanting in a way. That as I was sleeping, I know I was asleep, right? I started feeling like a pressure, and while I was feeling that pressure, I would see that little boy go like this to me, like he was trying to go in me. Yeah. But then I was like, I remember that I'm like, I'm strong. You can't. And I was always obsessed with the movie The Labyrinth. Uh-huh. So I just started laughing in my dream, and I'm like, you have no power over me. You know how they say that, and like, yeah. That's her thing. And as I said that, he gets mad, the volcano explodes, and I woke up. And then I'm like, oh my God, like, what the heck is going on? Like, what just happened? Like, was I being possessed or something? And after that happened, I never heard them mention that there was love. Like, they never said anything. Like you do, like, bye. Like, you do, like, that was one of those things. Another weird thing that happened was, like I told my thing, like, there's this energy of some people that I get, like, with one of my uncles. He was like, he had his wife. He passed away recently, and so his wife passed away like a year after they were gonna. It was gonna be their 1 year anniversary, and when he started dating somebody else. Even when I was little, I didn't like her. There was just something off about her. Anyways, eventually they have a kid. I never called her my tia. So they have this kid, and I just, when you have a baby, you're like, oh my god, this, like, and the whole family like a baby. I couldn't really carry him. I was like, there was just something off with her. And I call it the exorcism because I was staying, that's when me and my cousin started talking. She told me that was the next one. We were staying in Monterrey. I was staying there because my parents were migrants and I didn't want to go up there. I'm like, I'm starting school good in the school year. So I stayed there for that summer. And then we went to one of my tío's house, another tío's house, and the baby was like crying. And she just couldn't, like, she wouldn't stop crying. She wouldn't stop crying. Granted, not many people were carrying her. Like, the baby just couldn't stop crying. And then her mom was like, yeah, well, so my other tío's wife, she's like really religious. And she's like, oh, let me, ojo, she has ojo. And I'm like, that child doesn't have ojo, but okay. For some reason, they all go, yes. They, like, my cousin, the one that I said, like, she can do stuff, my tia carrying that baby, the other one that was going to do the ojo, go to a room, and for some reason, I get up. I don't know why. I get up and I stand on that door without thinking. And I was just standing in the doorway while my tia was doing the rezo. My other cousin was there, and I was in the doorway. And my uncle was going crazy, like, mija. I'm like, no, tío, this, and that. And the screams that child was doing as my tia was doing the thing, I was like, that's why I call it that. Like, she's getting exercise. Like, there's something wrong with this kid. But after that, and after that little girl got baptized, I was able to, like, touch her. I told my tia, I'm like, you're born with the sins of your father sometimes, of your parents.
Yeah.
And in my family has always said that that lady was best friend with my tia, like the one that passed away, my uncle's wife, and she always wanted my uncle. So she weaseled her way into our family.
Mm.
So I think that maybe that could have happened. I don't know. But after that night, my cousin was like, you were supposed to be in that door because you're the strong one. You're supposed to keep everybody out. That's why, like, mi tío couldn't go in and something. She was there, like, something else was happening. You don't even know. I don't know. I just got up. I felt like I had to. I don't know why. But, yeah. Like I said, a bunch of, like, weird stuff like that happened to me. Like I said, I've never seen nobody. I don't want to see nobody. But I dream stuff that happened. Like, for example, like, another time that I got home, and like I had this whole crush on this guy, like he was everything to me, whatever, blah blah blah. And I got home, I fell asleep, and I remember that dream, and I wrote it down. Me and my friends used to have this journal that we would pass around, like every time we see each other, we would write down stuff. But for some reason, I didn't write it there. I wrote it to my friend directly, like a note. And what I dreamt was that I was in this room, and for some reason, I dreamt like it was kind of noisy. I couldn't hear so many people, and everybody was like in black, and I was dressed in white. And in the doorway, it was him dressed in white. And he was like looking at me, and he was trying to call out for me, but I couldn't listen. I couldn't hear because I would hear noise. And he was like crying, and he was like, help me, like mouthing, help me. And then I saw that in his foot was bleeding. There was so much blood. And I was like, let me help you. And I couldn't reach him. The next couple of days, I noticed that he wasn't in school until the third day that I was like, okay, he's not in school. And then I walk out. I remember walking out of the cafeteria, and he's walking towards us in crutches. I was like, what the fuck? He's in crutches. And then somebody like tells me, because like apparently everybody knew that, like in Japan. He's like, oh yeah, he had this terrible cut on his foot, and now he's in crutches. And my friend just looked at me like, what the fuck? And I was like, and I go pale, and my husband's like, what's going on? like, why are you so pale? And I'm like, because I dreamt that. I dreamt that he had a lot of blood. Like, what? What's, I don't know. And I just, like, went about my day. But yeah, I have a lot of deja vu, a lot of stuff. Like
Way
that.
too much. Me too, bro. Like, when I was working there, I knew I needed to be working there. I was gonna meet you. I was gonna meet Eric. I was gonna meet people from there. I had dreamed that shit a long time ago. Cuando ni en cuenta that I was gonna move up here to San Anto, like, and it was weird, like, ¿me entiendes? Pero when I'm at a place, it's like, ah, shit, I've been here before. I know something's coming. Like, cuando va a pasar algo malo, I was like, oh, okay, this is what was supposed to happen. I knew this shit was coming. Por eso when I'm good, I'm balling and shit, I was like, I don't want to get too excited because I feel like ahorita me va a pasar algo afterwards. But it's crazy. Like, I'm in a room and I'm like, I think I know that person. Later on, we start being friends. We're cool with each other. ¿Me entiendes? Like, I don't know. I can't explain it though, and I don't know if it's sometimes if it's dreams or like a memory. Like, it's like a memory, but I was like, I barely met this person.
Yeah.
I already knew him. Like, what the fuck? Like on the.
What's crazy is that I'm only, before I'm not thinking, like, I've only had like 2 relationships. Before him, I was in an abusive relationship, both physically and psychologically. And I tell him, like, as he was hurting me, I was like, don't worry, you're gonna be happy. You're gonna find happiness. Like, this is just passing by. And I wasn't looking for it. Like, I wasn't like, oh my God, like, I'm gonna find somebody. And eventually, like, I found him. Oh, and that's another thing. My cousin, she told me about Martin since before I met him. But I wasn't thinking about it when it happened. She told me, she's like, you are gonna get married. And then she, like, I remember her face, like, because I don't know what she's seeing in her head. She's like, he doesn't have hair, I can't see hair. She's like, but me cae bien. Me voy a llevar muy bien con él. And yeah, they get along good. And then, but she's like, lo vas a conocer en un pasillo, in a hall. I mean, granted, for a while, I was like, hallway. You know, like, I'm in a hallway, where is he, where is he? But when it happened, like, it wasn't until we started dating, and then he reminded me of it. Oh, shit. He was like, yeah, I remember when I was walking down the hallway and you were going into the apartment. I was like, the motherfucking hallway. He did see me in the hallway. We saw, like, when we actually connected was in the hallway. And there's a lot of crazy shit you can't explain out there.
Yeah.
But
Crazy,
it's there.
crazy little stuff like that.
What is that?
But it's when you watch it, or when I see like cualquier movie and stuff, and growing up with my parents, I had brutal. But like, it's like no sabes, like maybe someone, maybe not like a fucking werewolf or something, pero like I don't know, like maybe they saw something, man, like y por eso hicieron una movie. It started from a story, ¿me entiendes? And maybe they made it in a book, and then from the book it went to a movie. Like you can't say no to everything, porque pues a ti no te ha pasado, ¿me entiendes? Pero maybe a esa persona sí le pasó eso, like Chucky and all that shit, like. Ahí está la Annabelle, and I'm talking about Chucky, también I he hecho like the My Buddy toys.
Yeah.
I had a My Buddy toy, and that's when all that, I was younger, that's when shit like that was happening, but I used to beat the shit out of that toy, like wrestling and all this, and ¿me entiendes? And it was crazy, way, porque I was sitting on the couch next to my dad. I had one of those tall ass beds, and he was sitting there monillo with all my other toys. And I was just watching TV, and you can tell when somebody turns their head and looks at you. Like, yo estaba viendo la TV y nomás miro que el mono le hace así. Y el otro,
Yeah.
chinga. Y luego nomás volteé así. ¿Para qué traes, güey? El mono me vio, pa. Estás loco, güey, puro pedo. What the fuck? And anoche, I put him in the closet. I was like, fuck that. He's turned into Chucky now. And, fuck, güey, de repente lo sacamos, leave him outside, or put him somewhere, y de repente, like, I would see him move, like, se movía, chinga, what the fuck, oh, yeah, I'm not gonna play with that motherfucker no more, but I don't know if we burned it, or we gave it away, or some shit, in My Buddy, but, yeah, Fuck that, like I don't know, like the energies and shit, like no sé qué pedo, like like stuff como tío, like you feel stuff from people. Sometimes you do feel it from a toy or something. También lo siento, something they really loved a lot. Shit like that. Like when I was sitting in my dad's truck when he passed away, me acordaba de mi papá and I would get emotional being in that truck. And I wanted to fix it up and this and that. And I like sentía esa energy from being there too, man. Maybe it's stuff like that también, like. And then it's like, I can't really explain it, but
I mean, I guess that's what they say when, like, pasa brujería, that you need something from that person. Because, like,
yeah,
their energy or something from them is there.
que con un picture they can get you with just a picture.
Yeah.
Or algo que sea tuyo, like algo que se te cayó.
I
No
think it's
picture
more
like that.
effective when something is, like, theirs.
Yeah.
I've never done brujería, I don't want to do it, but. I mean, I think so, because it's, like, more personal, and, like I said, it has that.
Yeah.
I've seen, and my dad was always the one that's like, oh no, you're bullshitting. Nah, you didn't see it.
So you think the people that are like, no, like, shit happens to them.
Yeah,
They're scared. I feel like they're scared deep down because they know something, right? But
They probably have something.
he's like, nah, you didn't see anything. Stop bullshitting. Like, there's times where I've seen like my loved ones that already passed. There was one time that my abuelo passed, and him and my dad weren't really that close, but he was closer to the kids, my abuelo, and he had passed, and I remember we were in my dad's living room, and we were just chilling there because we had just gotten done with the funeral, and all of the cousins were around and everything.
Yeah.
And it was already midnight or whatever because we were still awake. We didn't have no bedtimes, whatever. And the TV was on, and my dad comes out of his room. He's like, all right, time to go to sleep. Turn off the TV. Right when he turned off the TV, I see an hombre. He's sitting there smoking a cigarette.
What?
And he looks at me, and the you know how like the old TVs where like, it would flash.
Yeah.
And like it would do that little.
Yeah.
It right when that little thing happened, he disappeared. And I went over there and I sat down. It smelled like
smelled like
smoke. It smelled like smoke because he died of like lung issues because he was a bad smoker. And there was times where we literally would try to like get him to stop smoking because we wanted him to be around longer.
Yeah.
There was times where he bought like a brand new pack of cigarettes, and one time we got his cigarettes and we just threw it on the roof, and he was so pissed off. Pinche huequillos! And there was that time. There's this other time. I think I've talked about it before, but one of my uncle, so we went to Kansas literally on that day, and we saw him that day. The day after that, he passed away of a heart attack. At that time, he had a daughter, and I think she was like maybe like kind of like Raiden's age, 6, 7, and we were all staying at my nana's house, my nana and papa's house, and the way their house is set, it's the kitchen, the living room, and then there's a hallway, and it goes into all the separate rooms. We see it wasn't a torso, it was like the legs part and then the waist. We see that walk through the front door, walk through the living room, walk through the hallway, and then through that room. Right when that happens, she starts crying. Like he's saying like his last goodbyes to his daughter. There was that one. There was one where my Theo, he passed kind of like recently, I think like 2003 or 2 or something like that. He died in a really bad way. Like, so he had this old school truck, but he was like a menso. And the way you turn on that truck is you get on the bottom of it and you turn on the ignition that way.
Oh shit!
And that's how you would do it.
Put it starter off of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And well, he was under it, and it landed on top of him, and that's how he passed. And we went to his funeral and everything, and it was my abuela and my stepmom, and they were sitting there up front, right behind him. He was just there.
Oh shit!
Like when you hug someone from behind.
Yeah.
He was just there, and once they lowered him into the grave, then you just see his soul just rise into the air. And I go in, I tell my dad, I was like, I saw Theo. He was like, nah, you didn't. Stop lying. You didn't see anything. I was like, I saw him. He was there. It's that type stuff. Like, I don't know if it's just like I can see people or like, but it's like, it's not actual spirits all the time. It's just like family members that pass.
Yeah.
And there's one time too with when my willow passed, like reincarnation type thing. When they lowered him into the grave in this little, those little kangaroo mice.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But out there in like the Monte area, they're coming.
Yeah.
The little kangaroo mice.
Yeah.
He jumps out of like the grave, and then he just jumps off into the distance. I'm like, what? I was like, is that him? Why would you turn into a mouse?
It's crazy, pero I'm gonna tell you another one.
At least you didn't feel like a hawk.
Right?
Yeah. When my dad passed away, estaba yo sentado en su truck, and I was just, man, my dad passed away. And I remember when le hicimos bury, I couldn't cry, güey, pues, cuando los hombres no lloran, güey, usted no llore. I still can't really cry. ¿Me entiendes? Like, me duele hasta el pecho. And
you get that little tear and that's it.
Sí, like, get back in there. Y estaba sentado en su truck y the most random little fucking animal, and it's an insect, una pinche ladybug. Estaba yo sentado y se me puso así en la hand. And I was just, le hacía así con el air y no, güey, se ponía otra vez. What? And anything about it, nomás vete, like, yeah. When my mom passed away, from out of nowhere, también otra ladybug, bro. Like, se me puso así también en la hand. I was like, fuck, otra. I hadn't really seen fucking ladybugs in a long time. Y otra. Like, oh shit, por eso ahorita que me estás diciendo eso, like, oh damn, like, nunca sabes, maybe, like, from there se cruzó otra cosa.
Oh, another thing that happened really recently. So me and my mom, we had a good relationship, but we're like not tight or this and that. So it was about COVID time, 2020, right? And so my uncle passed away on Father's Day, and my mom was like hysterical, and she's like yells out like, "Llévame a mí porque I swear to God, Robbie, I felt there was something behind me listening."
And I told her, bro.
Y yo le dije, mamá, ¿por qué dices eso?
And I told her.
And I knew, I was like, she's next. And I hugged her, and pues I was like with her, So the next day, they went to Monterrey for the funeral. And that was probably like 20-something of June. So I remember it's going to be July 3rd. July 3rd was going to be almost the 4th of July. So it was actually on the 4th of July. We were waiting for them because on July 3rd, I got together with my friends. So we were waiting for them on the 4th of July. They were on the way back. And we were just there, like, we didn't know what to do. We were at my parents' house when people passed. And for some reason, I was like, I just had this bad feeling. And I was in my parents' room. I think he was in the living room. Alexa was, like, in my room. And all of a sudden, I called my parents. They were like, we're on our way, blah, blah, blah. The lights go out. Like, they cut the power, like, no había luz. So I called my parents. I'm like, hey, just so you know, you guys are on the way. This is in my house. Se fue la luz. Like, the light bill is not under my name. Can you guys report to see what's up? Is it just his house? Like, what's happening? And my mom goes with the funny speech, ¿Qué puedo hacer yo? I'm not there, blah, blah, blah. Like, they start getting me mad. So I'm like, you know what? I hang up on them. I was already frustrated. And Martina's like, you want to leave back to San Antonio? I'm like, let's go. Let's go. I didn't see my mom. The only time I saw her was when we were saying goodbye, and she went to Monterrey. And I had a feeling it was. So we came over here. I talked to my mom. They got their home. The light was on, blah, blah, blah. 2 days after that, one of my tia calls me. She's like, Mija, how's your mom? Your other tia just tested positive for COVID. I was like, hey, my mom has it. I had a feeling. I was like, my mom has it. Because I had talked to my dad, and he's like, your mom is she's a little bit off. She's not getting off of the bed and stuff like that. So I talked to my mom, and she's like, I don't have anything, this and that. And I was already getting in my head, like, she is going to pass away. Unfortunately, she does pass away. Complications of COVID. So I still am conflicted on that because, like, I kind of knew. And I'm conflicted because she said she wanted to die. But also, she's my mom. I didn't want her to die. So anyways, as me and my brother were going home to Eagle Pass to take care of all the whole funeral arrangements, we meet up with my dad. He was at my grandma's house. And we go to our house, and we were in his bedroom. And when my dad starts crying, and my brother's also crying, and I was feeling something. I'm like, but I have to be strong. I have to. And I'm like, but I don't want to. And I was about to cry. And I swear I feel somebody touch me right here. I feel a hand. And then I just start feeling, like, from here, just going into me with peace. Like, peace. Like, I don't know if it was her being like, I'm okay. Everything's okay. I'm at peace. And I just relaxed, cried a little bit. But I was able to be strong for my dad. And I'll never forget that. And that's something I've been wanting to talk to my cousin about. Like, what was that? Who did that? I felt a hand who touched me. Because I actually have a book. I'm trying to get into alchemy. She told me that, like, I work a lot with the Archangel Metatron. So I have a lot of, like, stuff from him. And when I was younger, growing up, I would always see, the only thing I've ever seen is a man wearing white. The mask just, but I never felt it malicious. And I knew, and my cousin was like, it's your guardian angel. And to me, it was my grandfather. The one that they said that he passed away 3 months later. My mom was pregnant with me. And his mom is Austrian, and they always say he was tall, and his mom was tall, colored eyes, light skin, and I'm the one that looks more like that side of the family. It's taller, lighter skin, colored eyes. So when I would always see that apparition, I'm like, it's my grandpa. He was taking care of me. So I'm like, it's either my guardian angel, was it my mom? But I know that something touched me and gave me peace to be able to help my dad in that moment. And, like, up to this day, like, I'm conflicted because I still kind of feel like that peace, like, I shouldn't cry. But at the same time, I'm like, I want my mom, because eventually, I found out that I was pregnant. Oh, and when I got pregnant, I had a dream that they told me I was gonna have twins. But that cousin, like, it's just her and her sister. Well, her daughter and my daughter, they're supposed to be a week apart. We got pregnant around the same time. So in that dream, they were like, you're supposed to have twins, but we gave one to her. And they were like, because she was going to be a little bit stronger taking care of her, because that baby is, like, she had a little bit of complications. Like, after me going, I lost my mom. I was like, oh, crap, okay. Well, thank you. There's some stuff, like, there's good. There's some stuff that might seem a little bit malicious. Like, when I was in Minnesota, I was just remembering that when he was talking about that. We live in a trailer park, My room was
Those
in the
fucking
back.
trailers, bro.
Yes, like there's a lot of stuff. Like I was in the back, and every night I would hear. It never bothered me. It never bothered me. I was by myself. I'm a night owl. I have always been. Still am to the day. I can't like. To me, I'd rather be awake at night and go to sleep in the day. So I was the only one awake at night, and I would hear just outside. There was always an owl. My TV was an old school little TV that I would have to unplug sometimes because it wouldn't turn on, or it would turn on by itself. The phone lines wouldn't work in my room for some reason. Phone lines, like that shit's connected directly,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't work in my room. But I'm like, I would always feel a little bit scared, but like just calm. Oh, my dog would like go to sleep with me, and it was always around 3 a.m. and she would start growling. But like she would call up to me, and I was the one calming her down. It's okay. Like it's fine.
Don't bark, you're scaring me.
You bark in that, but like right now, like it's okay, and I will go to sleep. But I would not leave that room. I don't know why. It was a little bit creepy, but I was still like attracted to it for some reason.
You were cool with it, man. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm a little psychopath about the freak I'm reading right now.
Yeah.
Those are our stories.
Yeah. I have the chills right now. I'm over here like, calm down.
I feel like sometimes you gotta be cool with it too, like. Yo también, yo no dormía muy bien en la noche. Y ahora duermo bien, pero back then I couldn't really sleep that much. De repente I was just cool with it. Like, the crazy shit era cuando, like, sentía que me estaban ahogando. Or, like, I would wake up y tenía una almohada en mi cara. Y I felt like a hand on it. Como que me estaban ahogando la verga.
My mom would say that would happen on the church.
Yeah, and the bad thing, like, I couldn't move. Like, si me muevo, like, they'll quitaron, like, I'm gonna fuck you up. Pero, like, I didn't know what the fuck was, like, enfrente de me. Like, I just felt, like, heavy. Like, me estaban ahogando and shit. And, like, de repente, like, ya como que me, like, it would release or whatever. It would release me, like, ya, nah, what the fuck? And de repente I would be in my room and I would feel something there with me. I was like, it's cool. Like, I like, ni en cuenta, like, whatever. But I would feel it there, and I was like, fuck it, man. Like, if it's gonna be here, like, fuck it, like, I'm just gonna be cool with it, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, vente, güey, vamos al baño.
Like, my dad, they named their ghost Chole.
Chole.
So I grew up like, it's like something like the leprechaun. I Chole, so I was like Chole, but I never knew why until he told me the real story. So, like, my dad, he's from Piedras, but he went to study in Monterrey, and he literally lived like not even around the corner, like the other side from where my mom was living. And so there were a bunch of students there, like where they were living. They rented that little house, and he said that he was just asleep or going to sleep, and he would read, and they would like shut the light out. And then you would always hear somebody run up the stairs. And when there was a stair, there was like this covered thing. And like somebody rummaging through it. And my tia Neva went to visit and somebody was breathing in her face.
I felt that.
And they would always see stuff and stuff like that. When eventually somebody, I don't know if it's somebody or my dad, they were like, what the fuck? And they went through that little covered thing. They found bones. So one of my dad's idiot friends, he was studying medicine. And to him, it was easy to go to his grave where he had somebody, they dig up the bones. And he just took them.
What the
Instead
fuck?
of getting them, prepared, you can do that, but you have to get them prepared, to do the study. No, he just got them out and then he just left them there. So eventually they got rid of them, but my dad said that Chole was still there. Like, they were still. And eventually they just grew to be like, Chole. But they were
Chole. Just fucking with shit. Chole.
Ahorita se va.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Las adventures of los OCAs. Yeah. Okay, Gomez. Yeah.
I have a lot of stories, man. A lot of them have to do with when I was a kid. My grandpa used to be a realtor,
Oh.
and like when my mom was off in college and stuff, I was there with my grandpa.
Do you go to different houses?
Yeah, different houses and stuff. And he would mainly do like apartment complexes and stuff like that, and they would get them ready and like demolish or like get them where they're able to be livable, and that was like my stomping grounds. I would run around all the little rooms and stuff.
Different house.
And it was over there, like kind of towards like the east side area. And there was this one room that I always was like attracted to it. I would always go there all the time. Play in the room and my cars, whatever. And but I would always go into that room too to like brush my teeth and stuff. One time I was brushing my teeth. I looked in the mirror. My grandpa called me. I looked away. When I looked back into the mirror, I was still looking at myself.
Oh shit. Oh damn.
And from that on, I've always been afraid of mirrors. Even when they came out with that movie Mirrors, oh hell no, I didn't watch it.
Siempre han dicho eso. Yep.
When they came out with Sinister.
Okay, yeah.
Sinister 2.
Yeah.
I watched that movie. Oh my god, I don't even know why I watched it. Yeah. That one, when they came out with the Shutter, the one with the cameras.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See.
That one too, like there was one time I had a grandma. She wasn't really my grandma, but she was like a family friend.
Yeah.
Because my grandma, so her sister was relatives to the guy that my grandma married back then.
Oh, okay.
And they lived in like, I guess like deep Mexico, like Musqui's area type. And she had a house here in San Antonio, like towards Ingram area. And I would go stay there and stuff. And she always had like indios on the outside, like the little statues and stuff, and like Aztec stuff inside.
Oh, like those?
Yeah. But like some of them were like little like gnomes, but they were indios on the outside of the house.
Like no.
Like the ceramic.
Oh, okay.
Sí.
And there was always something in that house, but it was, I don't know what it was. Or maybe like stuff came from Mexico or what.
Some of those things were badass, like the Native American ones.
Yeah.
Was even detailed. Yeah.
But there was this one time that I got my first camera. It's a little red Nikon camera, and I would. When you're a kid, you take pictures of stupid ass shit. There was one time I took a picture of. She used to have pájaros, like little parrots. I would take a picture of the pájaros. In the corner of the window where the pájaros were, there was this demon.
What?
And it wasn't like a devil skull or whatever. It was like a calavera, like a skull, like a skeleton. Just a skull, just staring into like the house. And I showed my grandma, and she was like, "Get that out, get that out, like get that out of here, delete it."
Yeah.
And there was that time. A lot of stuff happened in that house, but a lot of stuff happened after her husband passed. And once he passed, she didn't have nobody. But he had a badass like system and everything. That's kind of why I think I got into like music and stuff like that, because he had records and 8-track player and like cassette player and everything. But it was all badass because it had the big
There's a lot of stuff, right?
The big like surround sound like speakers and stuff.
My dad does.
He had his own like little area.
There's always that one member like in the family or somebody that gets into like
the wannabe DJ of the family.
The
one that whenever you gather around, pon la música.
And well, he had this little radio station. His favorite station, of course, was Tejano station.
Yeah.
And it was maybe like 4 o'clock, and I wake up and someone's like, and and so again, they push me. I wake up, I get out of bed, the radio turns on.
Oh shit.
His favorite song, out of all the damn songs that could have played on the Tejano station, his favorite songs plays on the radio.
Oh.
So I'm like,
Do
okay.
you remember which one it was?
No.
But I bet if you hear it, you're like, okay,
Yeah,
that one.
then I'll know.
Yeah.
I turn off this radio station, go back, lay back into the bed, because they had a like a futon in the kitchen, and that's where I would sleep. Because my cousins had the other rooms. It turns on again. The same song. I unplug that shit. It turns on again. It turns on again.
Yeah.
And then the TV, they had, remember those old TVs before, the ones that didn't have the back part of it, but it was just a big like flat screen?
Like the one that you had?
Yeah. Oh yeah. See.
It turned on to the Mexican station, the Louis Sun or whatever. It turns on.
Oh shit.
Okay.
And it's a story about, this is gonna sound stupid, but it's a story about a husband that passes.
Oh shit.
So I turn off the TV and it's fine. Well, then I go back to sleep and something again pushes me.
Yo, he's trying to tell you something.
And I wake up. My grandma, I guess she fell or something in her room trying to go to the restroom. And I go and something tells me, go check on grandma. I go and check and she's there on the ground. So then we call medical and everything, and I go with her. When I go with her, I don't even think I've ever told anybody, but when I go with her, I see him in the front doorway, because they had this little pathway, and then they had like the gated door or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it was the actual door behind it. He's just standing there in that little walkway area, and he's just like waving by.
Oh shit.
And I go with her, and I don't even remember what happened after that, but that was just crazy.
Maybe he was trying to tell you something, man, like to grandma or something, trying to get your
my attention.
I never got the hint.
I was like, just let me go to sleep. I had to wake up in the morning, because my first job when I lived there, I was a advertiser for cricket. When they first started, and I was out there sign spinning, and they had me in the android costume and everything. So I had to sleep, let me sleep. What the fuck?
Yep. Talking about movies too. Tooth Fairy? Was it the Tooth Fairy? But it had another name. Darkness something.
Darkness Falls.
Darkness Falls.
Oh god, I scared my brother with that.
Well, that movie got me, bro. I don't know why the fuck. I didn't see it when it came out. I saw it later on. I'm not loco. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Andaba loco, pues ya había pasado tiempo. Pues movies. And my parents always rented random fucking movies. I was like, oh shit, this movie's actually good. There were those low budget films and all that shit rentaban. And estaba esa. And I put it on, and I was like, fuck, this is a scary movie, and I'm high as fuck. Y no, pues empezó. Pues, whatever. The shit that got me is when it fucking kills the mom.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh shit. And I don't know, like it got me, I couldn't sleep at night. Like, I was, what the fuck? Pero see, like that movie got me. But all the other movies, like, they don't scare me. At the end, I already know what the fuck is gonna happen at the end. Pero some of those movies, I was like, oh, like I kind of see what the dude was trying to do. The writer or the director, it was like, oh, ta con madre. Some of them are good, some of them are cheesy as hell. Like Jeepers Creepers, I love Jeepers Creepers. She don't like it, pero I like it porque I lived in a small town like that, and the crazy thing about Jeepers Creepers, that was actually something that really happened, not like the whole demon thing, pero some dude that was doing that shit. Pero I was like, oh damn, like it's como te digo, you can't really say no, and like, pinche muy nada que ver. Like, you don't know, maybe it did happen to somebody. Some shit like, le pasó algo a alguien or something.
They're all apparently like true stories, or like.
Andale, it comes from somewhere. Like, esa es otra cosa. Ahí in Eagle Pass, we have the Kikapoos, the natives, and their thing is that they see a dog with red eyes where they live. I don't know what they fucking call it and shit, pero
Like a Wendigo? No.
Something. They have a name for it, and it was in their language.
I'll never go back.
Pero at the casino, un friend mío, used to work at the casino. He was telling me about it, that they wouldn't go into that monte that was next to the casino porque había un perro, there was like a wolf, there was an animal or something, pero you would only see the glowing red eyes in el monte. And I was like, why the fuck would you go in there? Pero yeah, see, that was like their main thing from there, eso. Y luego de repente también el pajarito Flamingo Pass, that's another story. Siempre me la corría a la escuela, like me iba de la escuela. Y de repente, that day I was just fucking around, like graffiti stuff and y la madre and sí, solo de noche. And then I was behind my house and there are canals or canales because I used to live at, it was just like fields, like they would plant stuff. Y había canales all around there, like there's canals all around there. And that's where they would get the water from, I guess from the Rio Grande or whatever too. They would connect there. Pero I was walking home, ya era de noche, my friends, they went their way. I was going home, y de repente you would always see dogs playing in the canal, like eating a random fucking animal, or people would throw Pampers and shit in there, so like algo, like trash and shit was in there. Pinche perro. I was like, fuck that. And there was always mean dogs around there, pinches perros culeros. So I always had a stick or a rock. So I grabbed the big ass rock and I threw it. And when I threw it, I saw it move. Pero de lo, porque you could see it was drinking like a dog, tomando. Pero en eso abrió like the wings. What the fuck? Pinche Batman a la verga. Pero it opened the wings. I was like, oh shit, and it flew away. But I ran home. Pero I was like, I thought it was a dog. Like it looked too big for a fucking bird. ¿Me entiendes? I mean, a dog, pero like abrió los wings and shit. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I told my dad about it. And he told me about el pajarito del border or whatever. Apparently it's like a fucking, a dinosaur. Like a dinosaur. And all through the valley, all through that shit, they've seen it. I was like, but I don't know if it was that, pero me asustó, gacho. Like, I never ran that much in my fucking life, and I ran home.
If I was, like, one of those cryptids, like, the border would be, like, the most
it's
badass way.
that's
Like,
your
all
spot.
the illegals,
Like,
pick out people, and nobody's gonna notice.
Like, they used to, pues sí han visto gators now, pero antes decían que there was gators there, too, y que se comían a la gente. But the main one that they would always talk about at Inigo Pass era de La Pantera. There was a big ass cat there that would eat the illegals and shit like that too. That was a big one porque siempre lo oían que La Pantera después que it was a mountain lion, un jaguar o quién sé qué chingados. Pero yeah, they are from Texas o nunca sabes, maybe it was passing through there, se comió alguien a la chingada or whatever. Pero sí, that was like the main thing there. También in el border is because the Kickapoo used to be there. That was their little town. That was their little place.
Actually, aren't the Kickapoos like from Coahuila somewhere?
Yeah, around there.
Like from mostly something to there.
To there. Y ellos tenían, under the bridge, that was their place. They had their own little houses, the little huts there. Yeah. And the fucking government moved them from there. Ahorita where all the immigrants are at and shit, that's where they were at first stationed or whatever. Like, ahí estaban ellos. And the government moved them to where the casino's at now. Pero that fucking border, man, all those houses around there and shit, you feel an energy there. You do feel something. So much death, so much bad shit that went down there. And yeah, like bad shit. Like, there's a new road that connects from the bridge to the casino. A lot of people have seen a lot of shit there because it's right next to the river. Y han visto un pájaro. Unas señoras salieron del casino. They were driving back to Piedras. And they took that road. And they just saw a bird, like, eating something on the fucking floor. Y en eso, pues, they stopped, because it was huge. It was like, we're going to hit it. And it threw the strong lights on. Y de repente nomás it stood up. And they thought it was like a little human or something. Like, it stood up. Y nomás abrió those big ass wings. They turned around and went back to the fucking casino. Like, oh shit, algo vimos ahí. Like, there's so much stuff that people talk about. And the crazy thing is not just one person. Like, a lot of people have talked about it. Like, ¿me entiendes? Y quién sabe si será cierto o no, pero maybe to them they did see something, like, ¿entiendes? Like, I saw something outside my window and stuff, and I still can't explain what the fuck it was. Like quién sabe. It was all connected to brujería and all that shit, pero like, nunca sabes what it is.
My family, like, my parents have been told that there was a dark shadow following us. And my dad at work, he had like his locker. He said that one day he just felt like moving it, and behind it, and I saw it, there was like a little monito thing of clay, and there was like a steel rod of an S. They was said it was like an S jabbed into it. There was a lot of negativity towards my family, but so but like I said, my family was more like okay, there's this, but let's go find something positive to like contradict it. They had like friends and family members that would like try to help out, because like apparently in my grandma's house from my mom's side, they like her house, well, my grandparents' house is like one little thing like that, but the houses go back like it's this long thing, and then next to it is another little thing, and that was his brother, sister, or somebody. So they wanted my grandpa's house, but eventually now my aunt actually bought their house. Well, anyways, I used to dream that I would go down in the backyard. They had this little area where they had the washing and the drying machine. I would always dream that I would go down there. Like, you can't go down there because it's like concrete, but I would always dream that I would go down there for some reason. And I was like, there's something down there. There's something down there. I'm like, treasure. And then I overheard like my family member be like, yeah, ahí abajo they buried something, like some brujeria stuff for that other family. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm not going down there. Not looking down there.
That concludes our episode. It was the
Thank
OCA
you,
Special.
everyone.
Thank you. This was fun.
Then we got to do it again.
Yeah.
I'm sure y'all have more stories.
Oh yeah.
Possibly. This is just like coming off of my head. I'm gonna write down
I'm just letting loose. But yeah, shout out to Eagle Pass and all my haters.
now.
That concludes our episode. I'm going to call it the OCA Special.
Woo!
Yeah, so have made a few things for this channel now. We now have a YouTube channel. So our YouTube channel, I had to change the name because it couldn't be the same name. Apparently somebody already has our name. So our YouTube channel is called Los Picoso Fantasmas.
Ooh, spicy.
The Spicy Ghosts. And I now have a Discord channel. So if any of the listeners out there want to join it, the Discord is, I forgot my name.
Yeah.
We gotta change
Thank
it.
you. It's brand new.
Los Pimentos Fantasma Discord. And I have a few things in there I want to start. Y'all send me y'all stories. I have an app on there where you can record your stories on there. Or we can do a voice chat call and y'all go on video and y'all be my newest guest on there. So that's everything, and see you next episode.